The Ravens Flock presents Theblackfiles, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
Welcome everybody, friends and pals, guys and gals, boys and girls around the world. Pop a squat, pop open a cold one with all your friends. It is Wednesday night, a couple of hairs past 10 p.m., and you have been granted access to the uncensored, uncompromising interview and review podcast of the Ravens Flock. Welcome to this brand new episode of Theblackfiles.
All right, we're back.
Yes, we are. In the final day of May, on the May 31st, we are going to wrap this up with some follow-up from some previous news, which is awesome. I mean, depending on how you see it.
What better way to end the month than by concluding a fact that we previously left open?
We appreciate it. Yep. If thankfully, as Angel does like to point out, while the wheels of justice do turn slowly, they turn inevitably towards the right call. The wheels of justice. Like I fucking botched it. Sorry. There goes my F-bomb. I'm your host, Juan Arouse, one of the heads of the Ravens Flock, the tech guru of the team, a guy who is tongue-tied at the moment. Dealing with a lot of emotional stuff, but that's just me. We're all trying to figure our brains out. It's okay. You know, we're all just trying to schlep on through this crazy world of nerd and pop culture, and sometimes it could drive somebody bonkers. So we're all trying to stand out. Let's help each other out, right? We're all trying to get along, not trying to hurt each other. I hope.
No, of course not. Well, I can't speak for Angel.
Yeah, no, obviously we can't speak for Angel. He'll have to plead the fifth over here. Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our usual suspects over here. First off, let's go ahead and say hello to the aforementioned living id of the Ravens Flock, the host of Los Amigos Play, a man with a million opinions and zero apologies, a man who is wearing dust boots at the moment and thankfully is recovering nicely. Say hello to Mr. Angel Mendez!
Thank you so much, my beloved viewers and listeners. Once again, my eternal gratitude for taking the time to show up today and keeping us company on this, the last day of the month of May. I hope that you're enjoying this nice rainy weather as much as I am, and I look forward to spending this time bullshitting with you.
Well, I personally like the rain where with the sun clear out. Like, where the hell is the rain coming from?
Nice.
If it's like right in the middle of the day, those are the kind of spring shower kind of rain that I'm personally a fan of. We did not get that. We got doom and gloom and like overcast destruction all over this over the Tampa Bay area.
Welcome to Florida, son.
So yeah, go figure. Precipitation, how does it even work? And let's not forget the man himself, the executive producer of the channel, the man who started it all, the myth, the legend, the big bald bastard, the host of Wrestle Rewind, and the founder of the Ravens Flock. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Jose Kessel Boona!
Well, thank you very much, Juancho. I appreciate the introduction, and I do thank everybody who's tuning in right now. You guys are great. You guys are awesome. And yes, I am just about ready to be done with the month of May, but more importantly, I'm ready to be done with this summer weather, says every Floridian living in Florida.
Joseph, you have to remember, we've been here for over 20 years. There's only two forms of weather in the world of Florida. It's hot or it's wet. And every other quote-unquote weather pattern is some permutation of the two at any given time of the year. It is either really hot or really wet, but almost inexorably both at the same time. We've been at this for decades, literally. Get with the program, man. There's no avoiding it. There's no avoiding it. But of course, the summer is on its way, and what way to start off with some good news here, folks. Before we get into the good news, let's go ahead and Jose, if you'd be so kind.
Take care of the house cleaning.
Yes. Housekeeping.
Much like all our other shows on this channel, we are simulcasting on youtube.com/The Ravens Flock and twitch.tv/The Ravens Flock online. Hit the subscribe or the follow button on the bottom right corner of your screen. Click the bell icon to enable notifications on all of our media content. Leave your questions and comments below, and we will answer as many as we can while we're live. And if you wish to go above and beyond to support the Ravens Flock, then you can become an inner flocker. For $4.99 a month, you will have access to all the perks that comes with being a member. Juan, tell them.
Well, for all the inner flockers we've got in our chat, and I know we have plenty, go ahead and show off those lovely membership badges and custom emojis, letting everybody know that you are going the extra mile to support the Ravens Flock by providing us with your hard-earned money. There's no cancellation fee. There's no obligation. You can cancel at any time. We appreciate those of you guys who stick around for the long run, though. I am still very much wondering who is going to end up becoming the very first golden inner flocker. That's for being an inner flocker for 4 years straight, 48 months to be exact. Holy cow, that'll be...
Let's see which one of you is worthy.
Let's see which one of you is built different. And of course, you also get access to members first and members only content, a special discount to our merch store, link in the description below, and you also get access to us, the Ravens Flock, your ever so favorite and handy motley crew of nerds, here to make your voice our mission by providing us your input, your thoughts, your ideas, your suggestions, your what you think could help improve our channel, what you want to see us cover on this channel, and helping us shape the future of this channel with your continuing support. Speaking of which, I want to say hello to the fine folks in the chat on our YouTube stream right now. We've got Nikki Bella and Gene Rick holding it down for our mod squad. Thank you very much. Hey up, Gene Rick. We got Tiffany Washington, Aaron Cooper, D Nice Santi. How's y'all doing, folks? Welcome to Welcome
to Wrestle Rewind.
That's Jose's show. That's tomorrow night. I'm thinking ahead because
that's happening right now. I'm sorry.
My brain is like 5 light years ahead of me. That's why I don't know. Oh, yeah, I have our favorite contrarian Boonda up in the chat. Hey, up there, Boonda. Who drinks something cold at 9 p.m.? What, would you rather drink something like tepid or room temperature? Like if it's hot, like if it's coffee or tea.
He's like a termite. He consumes.
You mean you're not drinking something cold? Isn't it hot in Texas?
How is Texas right now, Bunda? Please let us know in the comments.
Well, if Bunda doesn't tell us, one of our buddies over here in the chat, Geeks 5 Ever is in here. They'll let us know. Jesse Goku, our boy, how you doing? Goku. Also, Milky X is in the chat. Hey, up there, Milky X. I think I know who that is. How you doing, honey? Also, Honey 2800. The rest is in the chat. Hey, up there. Welcome to the Theblackfiles. Saying the rest of the year is early summer, wet summer, hurricane summer, hell's armpit summer, and fake fall, which is a less hot summer. Yeah. See, Honey 2800 gets it.
They understand. They know what's up. They seen this shit.
Wow, Bunda only drinks room temperature water. Wow.
This man is a horse.
That is
sure he does.
I'm so sad.
Okay.
I am so sad. I am so very, very sad for you.
Do not pity him. This is the life he has chosen.
Good point. Let us not expend our pity on those who elect to suffer needlessly. This is clearly his choice, and we will respect that choice, however disappointing that choice may be. And
my man really took a look at the path of suffering and said, "Bit."
Right? Good grief. Now, I'm over here double checking the information that we have because of all of this that has been coming out in the last few hours. Earlier today, it was made official. It was made official here. Earlier this month, we covered the ongoing trial of former That 70s Show actor Danny Masterson, and considering the charges that he was charged with. And I'm supposed to be the wordsmith here. I can't even the charge. Considering the situation, it is it's no laughing matter, which is unfortunately why I have to once again employ. Oh, I still have it from last week's counter. Oh, Angel.
Do you?
Oh no, Angel. since you weren't here last week, we pointed out how Governor Ron DeSantis, who's a total jerk, how he is very proud of his service in the Navy as as an officer for the Judge Advocate General's office. So, basically a military lawyer. They call them JAG officers for short, right?
That's a terrible thing.
Well, I'm letting you know, we got to 17 JAG officers count throughout the entire night. So,
wow.
Personally, I think we could do better. So, next time, I guess. I don't know.
Next time, we'll increase our JAG off record.
JAG officer records.
We're going to jag off to the moon!
To be fair, politicians and jagging themselves off is practically bread and butter at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah, it's called Congress.
Congress.
Isn't
that also what a group of gorillas is called?
I would not like to insult gorilla. No, it's a group of chimpanzees. Those fuckers, though, they deserve mockery. Fucking hate chimpanzees so much, dude.
Chimpanzees I think it's orangutans.
Oh, never mind.
I was going to say, Angel, I was going to say this. I was going to say, Angel, this better lead to a very interesting childhood story of your encounter with a chimpanzee.
Surprisingly, no. I just simply dislike chimpanzees in general. They look like a mockery of humans. More than any other ape, they drive me to escape.
I see what you mean. I saw what you did there, buddy.
So apparently, Santa has a final form. I just found that out.
Santa has a final form?
Okay, remember that game I told you about, that cookie clicker thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you can unlock the seasons, which create themes. And the Christmas season turns the cookies into reindeer cookies. And Santa is on the corner of the screen. And when you tribute him cookies, he slowly transforms until he turns into a Cthulhu-like entity simply called Final Santa. He's still apparently quite benevolent, though.
Seriously? Well, you gotta fight him and stuff.
Final Santa's pretty chill.
But you gotta fight him and stuff. What the heck?
No, I simply tribute him cookies, and he gives me gifts.
Okay. I guess that's all right. That's not a problem. Let me see here. Milky X is saying. She's saying here. I need my water ice cold, no exceptions. Yeah, I totally get that.
A civilized human being in this world of chaos.
What's his face? D-Nice was calling out Boonda like Alexa, play I don't know, Hurt by Johnny Cash. Yeah, and I totally get that.
I drank this juice today.
All right. And Geek Sci was saying, if you guys are calling me a chimp, I'm going to require payment in bananas. All right, send me your P.O. box get me your address, and I'll DoorDash some from your local bodega or whatever. I don't know.
Let's make sure that at least good bananas. If we're going to be taking the time to follow every negative stereotype, we might as well throw it properly.
Yeah, good point. Now, let's go.
Let's go
ahead and get in on this, folks. And it's time for me to throw up
because that we know is absolute bananas.
First off, I do have to throw up our obligatory disclaimer. Folks, tonight's episode, just like the one from the week before last, is going to be dealing with subjects of sexual assault and subjects of violent and dangerous nature, which was perpetuated by one of the people that we're discussing. So, YouTube human reviewer, if you are watching this, hi, Uncle Neil, go and tell Auntie Susan in the farm we don't miss her. And we won't miss you either, Uncle Neil. We are not here to actually promote these horrible actions that are being perpetuated by Danny Masterson. We are not here promoting that anyone should do any of this stuff. We are reporting on news involving a figure in popular culture. This is pop culture news. This is nerd culture news. We are cutting in on this story in order to provide our perspective and to spread the word of this story so that more people are informed. Do not flag us. Do not try to say that we're promoting hatred or that we're promoting sexual violence or that we're promoting rape or any of that stupidity. That's not what we're about. Go find yourself, touch grass, hire some actual human beings, and while we're at it, free the Uyghurs. There. Did I cover our ass enough?
I think our answers are well covered, but just to play it safe, our lawyers have advised you to inform you, for the sake of our protection, and for the sake of the protection, that this call is being recorded for your safety and security. But more importantly, please be aware that the opinions expressed here are merely our opinion and do not indicate any particular affiliation or encouragement to join any sort of party, political movement, groupment, jobs, or otherwise. What is being expressed here is being done inclusively on the form of the First and Second Amendments. Yes, I meant the second. I will protect my speech with guns.
I prefer you pleading the Fifth Amendment.
Yeah, that works too, but considering the kind of shit we do, after a while the lawyer's gonna turn and go, really, bruh?
Good point. I appreciate you helping padding out our ass covering on all this, Angel. Thank you for that.
Happy to assist, friend.
Now, yep, Danny Masterson was convicted earlier today. It's official. We can actually officially call him this. Danny Masterson is, in fact, a convicted rapist. Now, there were 3 counts of sexual assault and rape that were brought forward in this case. Now, if my homework reads correctly, he was initially charged back in 2017, or was it 2019? I'll have to double check.
I believe it was 17, based on how long this has been going on in court procedure records.
Oh no, the actual trials itself. This is the second trial where they had to actually get this done. But I believe the initial charge didn't come out. Wasn't actually put down until 2017. However, the actual occurrences happened in the early aughts. Happened in early 2003, 2004. So, ouch. It took that long for this stuff to happen, which is horse crap, and it's terrible. And obviously, ain't nobody condoning any of this behavior. But apparently, Hyde, Danny Masterson from That 70s Show, apparently he couldn't keep to himself. And what's more, the involvement of the Church of Scientology, the religion he was born into, and I say religion very loosely here, because, I mean, let's face it, again, obligatory disclaimer, this is our opinion. I personally believe Scientology is a goddamn cult. It's a money cult. It is a power cult.
You were ahead of me by 1 second. I was going to call it out and say that they're a cult.
Yeah. No, it's a goddamn cult. It's that simple. And no, we were right. You were actually right as well, Angel. It was March 2017 when the initial charges were filed. Lisa Boo made it in the chat. Hey, up there, Lisa Boo.
Hello,
welcome to the Black Files. She's like, I finally made it. Planet Q's Queen. Hey, up there, Planet Q's Queen. I'll eke out. Unbelievable. Appreciate you there, man.
Thank you all for joining us today.
Only animals eat bodega sushi? We're not talking about sushi. We're talking
about
bananas.
About sushi. For the record, though, he's right on that, though. Don't touch bodega sushi. That stuff is...
That's kept at room temperature. I can guarantee you
that. Its freshness is questionable.
At least with sushi at Publix, you can trust that they made it on the day.
Yeah, fair enough.
At that point, it just becomes a matter of how early in the day you get it and how fresh it is from there. It's gonna devolve. Okay, we're getting into sushi talk. This is your fault, Bunda. How dare you?
Damn it, Bunda! We're trying to focus on actual serious shit here.
We are. Now, if anyone wants to take a look at the original broadcast of the Black Files, where we were discussing the actual trial itself, I'm going to go ahead and provide you fine folks with the link. Give me a minute. Where to go? I'm going to find you. You can't escape me, silly link. Wrong link. Okay. There we go. And there it is. Cool. Okay, so, yeah, here's the original episode, which was 2 weeks ago on the Black Files. So, yeah, in 2 weeks' time, the jury had actually taken a total of 6 days in and out of court in order to actually get the deliberation done. So, all of last week, they were deliberating, and yesterday they were deliberating. It was only today when the jury actually finally came into session, where court came into session and the verdict was brought in. Let me see here. D Nice is saying, it makes me uncomfortable that each time I have to go to the doctor's office in LA, I have to look at the Scientology building by Sunset Boulevard. My condolences.
The fact that abomination and insult to all good buildings in the world somehow is still there.
You want to know what's really, you know what's really messed up, Angel? Right here across the bay from us in Clearwater, there is the Fort Harrison Hotel, which was a really nice, pretty hotel until the Church of Scientology got their hands on it, and then they turned it into their own private resort estate, which, by the way, fun fact, it isn't that well kept on the inside. It just looks pretty.
Well, of course it isn't. You don't honestly expect all that money from donations to go to actually maintaining their infrastructure, do you?
Of course not.
Silly.
That would be naive of me. Even as much as I want to believe in people, as much as I want to believe that there's folks who are willing to do the right thing for the sake of itself, there's plenty of a-holes, including those in power, who sadly will not. Who will sadly,
especially those in power,
who especially would use their influence and their authority to cause active harm rather than do any benefit for the common good. But what do I know? I'm just an internet asshole who just happens to have gone around the block a few times. So what do I know?
Sometimes that's enough. Now, as we know, this particular case has been going on for a while. The accusations came out several years ago. How many years ago?
The initial allegation was filed back in 2017. So 5 years ago, 5 years and 2 months.
5 years,
which is
indeed.
really which is disappointing for the actor Danny Masterson, who, as we mentioned 2 weeks ago, made his career in being one of the main characters of that 70s show.
That is correct. Mind you, despite the fact that that 70s show had long ago ended by the year 2017, the actors and actresses that participated in it, ironically enough, mostly the main character's parents, still enjoyed countrywide and worldwide fame. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say that they were untouchable, but there has been, at least thankfully, has been slowly devolving for the last few years. And since the beginning of time, the fascination with celebrity culture has created this field of invisibility, around the average celebrity that makes them think that they can get away with everything. The fact that they are levied many false accusations by people who are unscrupulously trying to get in their pants to steal their fame, leading to some seriously fucked up shit, means that more often than not, when a celebrity is accused, the first reaction is skepticism, especially when there is no solid evidence to be presented at the same time. It usually becomes something to be scrutinized when many accusations come out at the same time, which is in of itself a layer of tragic because it indicates that the crime had to have been performed several times to begin with, and many a times the evidence is either hard or borderline impossible to obtain.
Unfortunately, Angel does have a good point, and we've seen this happen many times with all the famous people in Hollywood. Man, they fall into the trap of being too big to fail.
I mean, take a look at Tom Cruise, for example. Like, he's literally the biggest Hollywood star on the planet. And heaven forbid, I don't know what kind of guy he actually is. I'm sure he's a really sweet dude who really does think he's helping people out. But unfortunately, his name has been for the last few decades and inexorably for the remainder of his natural life has been linked to the Church of Scientology, which has been mired with decades of shady business practices, shady religious practices, shady tax practices. All you have to do is look up three things. Look up Operation Snow White, Operation Freakout, and look up a lady by the name of Lisa McPherson. All right?
Operation Snow White, title of the next Mission Impossible movie.
God, don't remind me. It might actually happen.
No.
Next movie, Tom Cruise disavows the entire church, and the whole movie is about him actually fighting it.
Wouldn't that be the biggest reveal? They're like, oh snap! I did not have that in my 2023 bingo card. Hey, does anybody else have Tom Cruise turns on Scientology? No. What are the odds of that?
I feel bad about talking about Tom Cruise because I actually like the guy.
It's an example.
Work has been freaking awesome.
It was just an example. You can continue to like you mentioned earlier, Jose, you can continue to enjoy someone's body of work as a creative artist while still not being very thrilled with their personal life choices, so long as their personal life choices don't actually extend out to causing people harm because, like I mentioned a few weeks ago, when Tom Cruise was trying to help first responders from the 9/11 terrorist attacks with like alternative medical treatment, with like sauna treatments and exercise and supplement regimens, he honestly was trying to come from the right place in order to help people out. He even showed like a sweat rag that they use, like a sweat towel, and like from one of the first responders going into a sauna, and the shit came out purple. The towel was white.
They were My man went to the Charlie's Chocolate Factory to rescue that one fat kid.
Oh God, no! Augustus Gloop. No. Violet Beauregard is the one who turned violent.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
My man went out there and started rescuing the children.
Like you can easily point to that and take that at face value. The underside of that is, unfortunately, all that stuff, the treatment, the sauna, and all that stuff, he like in the underpinning of how it was built, also had, oh hey, by the way, come and take a look at your local Scientology branch. Let's see if we can get you a free personality test. Come and try a free personality test. Free personality test. Tell us about your crimes.
Yourself.
Tell us about your crimes.
No more.
Tell us about your crimes. Tell us about your crimes.
Yeah, the usual garbage and psychological abuse that comes with the service. We already covered that part. Yeah. We had a very long, very informative episode about that. This is merely to give you context to the fact that the person who is the person who committed the crimes, essentially, I forgot, give me the name of the actor again. I am bad at this.
Danny Masterson.
Danny Masterson
was raised in this environment. Remember, before he hit it big with that 70 shows, this dude was basically born and raised in a cult. A cult that essentially emphasizes exploiting your average human being with the promise of a good life, gaslighting, lying to them, psychological manipulation, straight up emotional abuse, all that fancy shit, just so you can give as much money as you can to a bunch of people that pretend to care about you. So, the average politicians. Funny case is, he was raised in this, and whatever he may appear as a normal person, it's pretty clear that whatever way that he came from has changed him for the worse. Make no mistake, I am not trying to excuse his heinous actions. I'm saying that the way you raise a child in the cult of Scientology, it's a surprise it hasn't happened more.
No, it's understandable. Oh snap. No, it's totally understandable, but unfortunately, there's nothing that we could do on that end. The dude's already 40-something years old. He's long ingrained in there. He's TFG. He is too far gone. There's no breaking him out of that. Well, maybe there would be, but it would have to be from some other external person or some other group of people who would want to try to convert him out. But that's not even it. In any case, I'm actually going to go ahead and put up the official article from Variety today. And this was their article as of 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So for our Texans over here, that would be 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Central. Headline reads, Danny Masterson convicted on 2 counts of forcible rape, faces 30 years in prison.
Oof.
Yeah.
Damn.
Article brought to us.
Yeah, that feels like a fairly accurate sentence. 30 years.
That sounds about right. This article brought to us by Gene Madhouse. Let's see. Danny Masterson, the former star of That 70s Show, was convicted Wednesday on 2 counts of forcible rape. The jury could not reach a verdict on a third rape charge, deadlocking with an 8-4 vote in favor of conviction. Masterson faces a potential sentence of 30 years to life in prison on the 2 charges. Shortly after the clerk read the guilty verdicts, there was an audible gasp from Masterson's family, who were seated in the attendance. Masterson was accused of raping 3 women at his Hollywood Hills home between 2001 and 2003. The jury convicted him of raping 2 women in 2003, but could not reach a verdict on an allegation from November 2001 involving a former girlfriend. Now, after the verdict was read, Masterson was handcuffed and taken into custody. Judge Charlene Olmedo denied a defense request that he remain free until sentencing. A hearing was set for August 4th. Masterson's wife, Bijou Phillips, was seen sobbing in the front row of the audience. One of the victims, known in the court as Jane Doe 2, issued a statement expressing relief that Masterson was convicted. She also referred to a pending civil case in which she and the other accusers have sued Masterson and the Church of Scientology for harassment and stalking. Quote,
Good.
yeah, no, yeah, hell yeah. Quote, I'm experiencing a complex array of emotions, relief, exhaustion, strength, sadness, knowing that my abuser, Danny Masterson, will face accountability for his criminal behavior, unquote. I'm disappointed that he was not convicted on all counts, but take great solace in the fact that he, the Church of Scientology, and others will have to fully account for their abhorrent actions in civil court. Masterson's former girlfriend, Jane Doe 3, said in a statement that she was, quote, devastated he has dodged criminal accountability for his heinous conduct against me, unquote there. She said she was determined to seek justice in civil court, where she said the three women will shine a light on how Scientology and other conspirators enabled and sought to cover up Masterson's monstrous behavior. Los Angeles DA George Gasson thanked the jury for its service and praised the women for coming forward. His words, their courage and strength. Why did I sound like Phil Lamar? Wow. Okay, whatever. Their courage and strength have been an inspiration to us all. While we are disappointed that the jury did not convict on all accounts, we respect their decision. Masterson's first trial ended in November with a hung jury, with the majority voting to acquit on all three charges. Remember, like I said, this is the second time they've tried to work this trial. And the first time, it was back in November, and they basically threw the case out with a hung jury. Basically, they just couldn't come to an agreement.
No consensus.
Yeah, they just couldn't get everything together.
Okay, here we go again.
Yeah, and here we go. Second time's the charm. Hot damn. The case has shined a light on the teachings of Scientology, of which Masterson's a lifelong member. All three alleged victims were members at the time of the alleged assaults and have since left the church. They've also said that the church dissuaded them from reporting Masterson, a prominent church member thanks to his acting success, to the police. In closing arguments, prosecutor Ariel Anson argued that Masterson had taken advantage of his position as a, quote, upstart in the church to rape the victims without fear of repercussion. In his quote, like all predators, the defendant carefully sought out his prey. The church taught his victims that rape isn't rape, that you caused this above, and above all, you aren't allowed to go to law enforcement. What better hunting ground? In Scientology, the defendant is a celebrity, and he's untouchable, end quote. So, defense attorney Philip Cohen argued that the prosecution invoked Scientology as a way to distract from inconsistencies in the victim's testimony. Their words, why have we heard so much about Scientology? Could it be there's problems otherwise with the government's case? Really? Is he trying to say, like, oh, they're trying to distract you from all the problems here. Look at all the lies. Look at all the crimes. Yeah. There's three crimes.
Wait a goddamn second. Why are we pointing at this pile of garbage? Or shouldn't we be worried about this dead dog on the road?
Why? Like, no, we are pointing out the crimes in this trial, Philip Cohen. There were three of them,
the dog, though. And
they were all they were all perpetrated by your client.
But what the dog doing?
No, let's not worry about the dog humping another dog on the side of the road when we have a giant bag of trash we have to throw out.
Indeed.
Let the dogs hump on the road. Scientology, continuing with the article, Scientology was also a prominent feature in the first trial. The major difference between the two trials related to the allegation of drugging. In the first trial, the women testified that they felt weak or woozy and had little memory after taking a drink prepared by Masterson. But prosecutors did not overtly claim that Masterson had put something in the drink to disable the women. In the retrial, the prosecution changed course, arguing that Masterson had in fact drugged the women. Anson argued they were all drugged. The defendant drugs his victims to be in control. He does this to take away these victims' ability to consent. This is not about consent. This is about the defendant's misunderstanding these signals, the victim's signals. When he drugs them, he's able to completely physically control them. You don't want to have sex? You don't have a choice. The defendant makes that choice for these victims, and he does it over and over and over again. Cohen countered that there is no evidence, such as a toxicology report, that would substantiate the drugging allegation. He also noted that there was no reference to drugs in the actual charges. This is not a drugging case. There's no tangible evidence of it, said Cohen. One of the women reported Masterson to the LAPD in 2004, but prosecutors opted not to file charges. The case was revived in 2016 after the three women found each other and went to law enforcement together. Prosecutors were able to file the charge under a one-strike sex crimes law that extends the statute of limitations for multiple forcible rapes. See, that's exactly how they managed to pin this on charge Masterson this time, because it was all done under multiple charges coming out at once, and that's how they
literally too much smoke. Like, this is not a fire; everything is burning.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Pretty much.
Now, let's see. Cohen argued that the women had, quote, tweaked their stories to fit a narrative of rape after meeting each other and discussing the case. Cohen argues, a woman has an absolute right to say no, but when the no comes 16 years, 17 years later, that's a very, very scary scenario. That's... Okay, so is he trying to say, like, no, you're not allowed to come out 17 years later just because there's a law that says that you can?
That's pretty much exactly what he's saying. He's basically saying, how dare you work up the courage to explain the horrors of the crime that you experience now, you piece of shit? What is wrong with you? Why didn't you just get over the horrible trauma of being abused and drugged by somebody that you admire and look up to immediately? What the hell do you mean you didn't just bounce back from that horribly physical and emotionally scarring situation? Clearly, you must be lying.
Don't you remember it's your own fault? What about your crimes? What about your crimes?
How do you think that makes me feel, having to sit here and listen to you throw these blatant accusations and falsehoods upon me?
What about your crimes?
It's just that.
What about your crimes? What about your crimes? That's freaking Scientology shit. All right, they're clearly using it's clear cut that they were using the the fact that Scientology keeps everything insulated and hush hush within themselves in order to get people in. Also, Shelly Fitzgerald in the chat. Hey, up there, Shelly. How's it going? Welcome there.
All right, welcome.
She was saying, have you heard of Synanon? I know that's one of Scientology's little schemes or whatever. I'm trying to figure it out. Synanon. Let me find it over here.
Can't say I have. Sounds like a Mexican ripoff of cinnamon, like the actual spice.
Wait.
I'm with Angel on this one. I have never heard of it until now.
No. Okay. Looks like it's not that's not what it is. Oh, god dang it. I know what it is. Okay, yeah, Synanon was another cult that came around about the early 60s, like late 50s, early 60s. It was created by by a recovering alcoholic called Charles Diedrich. And it was meant to be
fell into another addiction.
Yeah, like it's meant to be like people trying to get out, rehabilitate themselves from drug addiction. Turned out to be a cult.
Damn it.
Okay, sorry, because when she said Synanon, it reminded me of Crimenon and Narcanon that Scientology does over here. Yeah, Crimenon and Narcanon are little bits from the Church of Scientology, and those are like, oh, this is for helping to rehabilitate prisoners in jail using L. Ron Hubbard teachings and the teachings of Dianetics and the Church of Scientology. And Narcanon is so good at teaching people how to not be drug addicts in order to indoctrinate them in the Church of Scientology and buy their souls for $1 billion contract. For $1 billion contract.
Yeah, you might as well be holding a parchment with a bleeding pen saying, sign your soul away here, please.
$1 billion contract from these psychopaths. I don't think so. I'm sorry.
I can't believe somehow you find somebody more obnoxious than Jehovah's Witnesses.
Jehovah's Witnesses. I know, they found a way.
Yeah, at least when I tell those guys no, they just leave me alone.
I ought to tell no to the ones who keep writing anonymous letters. Have you ever gotten those weird little anonymous letters?
No, surprisingly, I have never been that unlucky.
Well, I have. As a matter of fact, I've got them over here. I would read it out, but it's in Spanish, and I don't feel like talking Spanish without being paid. specifically a lot of money in order to talk Spanish. Sorry, guys, that's not how I roll.
Money.
Bunda's asking about the pile in the corner. That's not important right now, Bunda. I know that you're focused on that, but that's not important at the moment. Ignore the pile. Vixen, the very first interflocker, hey up there. Welcome to Theblackfiles.
Welcome.
Hey, those Mormons one time washed my dishes for me. All right, well, Mormons ain't so horrible. They're still culty, but
they're at least polite enough to leave you alone when you tell them to.
Yeah, true. Jehovah's Witnesses,
they're obnoxious.
Yeah, exactly.
But even they know when to back off.
Yeah,
eventually.
Bunda's still
it's called a gun.
Bunda's fixated about the pile, but no, it's not happening, buddy. Sorry, man.
Bunda, just do like the lawyer defendant did and don't worry about the pile.
Exactly.
Even as the pile slowly grows and gets more dangerous and starts to twitch and tell you, why did you abandon me, father? Just don't worry about the pile. Bunda, the pile is not important. Bunda, what pile? The pile is a myth.
The pile is in your head.
Clearly gaslit yourself into thinking that there's a pile when in reality there is no pile. It's like the Matrix. There is no fork.
There is no spoon.
Juan, there was always a spoon. The fork was the one that was missing, and you're clearly lying to yourself, thinking that there was one.
So where did the knives come from? Oh,
well, you see, that comes from that movie where Chris Evans was called Knives Out.
Good point.
Jesus Christ. No, yeah, this is kind of how this kind of thing goes. It's a big tangled web of lies upon lies upon lies. So when one person is trying to tell the truth, it becomes very difficult to determine who is trying to get themselves rich and who is trying to actually find justice. But I love the fact that we reached the point where everybody just went, okay, this many accusations in this short a time with this level of coordination, something's wrong. Something is terribly, terribly wrong.
Now, I do want to bring up something in the chat over here. First off, Shelly Fitzgerald celebrating having been an interflocker for 8 months. Thank you so much,
right.
Shelly. Thank you so much for your continuing support.
Very
it means
good.
the world to us.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much once again for joining us today.
D Nice Santi in the chat is over here saying, thanks for reminding me of the commercial. Don't let this distract you from, don't let this distract you. If you or your loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation.
Oh my God.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are right now?
I told you for the last 3 weeks, no!
Okay.
Sheesh.
And I slither into the shadows.
Yeah,
smelling of new Bibles and pressed shirts.
Yeah, don't go around trying to rag on me for my parenting. So what if my kid's been gone for 3 weeks? They're grown. Or at least they think they're grown.
He can handle himself at the age of 10. Just like I did when the Spartan soldiers threw me off a cliff when I was a baby.
Yeah, but that's because you were a humpback. And I'm not talking about being like Quasimodo. I mean, you were a whale. You were a baby calf. They were trying to throw you back in the ocean. I was literally a whale.
I survived because I was too big to die.
You survived because they tried to throw you back in the ocean where you belong, and you just swam your way back to shore. You were trying to evolve too fast.
Have you ever been so angry that you spontaneously grew legs in defiance of all natural laws?
God.
Oh my goodness.
We have to inject some dumb levity, folks. This is the only way we're going to get through these kind of horrible stories here. D-Nice was actually saying real quick, best way to stop Jehovah's Witnesses, I got a nativity set from Costco and set it up in my yard. They never returned.
Good.
Yeah. No.
Get that shit off you.
Yeah, no, Jehovah's Witnesses are very persnickety about the whole nativity and passion and all that jazz about the birth of Christ.
The passion of the Christ.
Right. But hey, you know what? That's their deal. I'm not going to rag on them for it. What else? Yeah, everyone's congratulating Shelly. Bunda's throwing up his own emojis because he won't subscribe and become he's subscribed but he won't become an interflocker. That's his loss. And no, he didn't
he's
lose
a 4chan roller. He doesn't post, he lurks. That's his prerogative. I respect it.
Yeah, I suppose so. But if that's his deal, that's his deal. I'm not going to knock him. As long as he's not actively going out and hurting people like Danny Masterson was by drugging women in his home. Like, okay, if he got married after all this stuff, he's only been married for like a few years. he's a Hollywood superstar. Why the hell did he feel the need to coerce women using drugs? What's the point of that? It's a power play. It's just to prove that he can.
Everything
You just answered your own
sex,
question.
Except sex. Sex is about power. And some people really want that power, that sick thrill. And of course, they feel like they have the money, the status, and the lack of evidence to get away with it. And sadly, many times they do. Though it seems this is one of the times when it was not the case. The case is, these are the only 3 victims that we know. How do we know this hasn't happened before? Remember, Scientology is pretty big. These are probably not the only women that he took advantage of, unfortunately.
Let's not forget that he wouldn't be the only person who is a big-time celebrity in Hollywood who's also a church member of Scientology, who may be using their cult and the influence and affluence of Scientology to similar advantage. Planet Q's Queen in the chat, she's saying, my mom had a dog, my grandmother was gardening, and a Jehovah's Witness came to visit and preach at her. Rex snapped at the person and chased him off the property. That's a good doggy.
Smelled the sin and basically went, I am a creation of God, and I recognize sinners.
That's a good doggy.
Oh, what a good dog. Smart dog.
Yeah, good dog. Fantastic dog. I'm sorry. All I can think about is that Tumblr post where somebody goes, man, I don't know anybody by the name of X. And somebody goes, yeah, well, my school had a turtle and his name was X. But it's a turtle. Who cares about that? And somebody responded, when God's creation sing in its choir, will the turtle not be a part of them?
The turtle would definitely be a part of the choir. When the turtle,
I'm like, damn.
When the turtle slowly waddles his way up to the pearly gates, what'll happen is that St. Peter will be meeting him there. He'll be giving him a VIP badge that he's going to place gingerly on top of his shell, and a little reader thing around his neck so that he can read the sheet music and saying, "Okay, they're waiting for you up on stage 5. Welcome."
Speaking of somewhat unrelated stuff. My condolences to the loss of a meme. The old fellow who was the born of the farmer's meme, it's hard work, but it's honest work, passed away a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he gave his life for the farming life, and he gave us delicious food.
Yeah,
but
it ain't much, but it's honest work, was his thing.
Yeah. So somebody even made that meme of the Grim Reaper coming for him. It's time to go. Heaven awaits you. But I didn't do much. Yes. But it was honest work.
Aww.
That was nice.
That is so sad. Yeah, Dave Brandt was the man's name. Yeah, and you're right. It is unrelated, but at the same time, that's okay, one of the real ones. And he was a good and he was a good farmer. He was a good guy. I didn't see a lick of trouble. So died at age 76. So a life well spent.
Almost made it to 80. Props to him. And now, speaking of things that last a long time,
real quick, before you go, before you continue, I have to point this out. Honey 2800 in the YouTube chat said, "Jesus saves, God invests, the Holy Ghost diversifies, Moses dabbles in crypto."
There it is.
Thank you
shit! I gotta step out for a second to pull my car out. My little brother just got home. Give me a second.
Sure thing.
Yeah, you go right ahead.
Say hi to Toy Slasher when he gets in there. As far as this goes, I know it's open and shut in terms of this case, but for the longest time, it'd been feeling like, I don't know, the hefty wallet of the Church of Scientology weighs heavily on this case. There's a good chance that Danny Masterson might have walked away from the charges scot-free, but thankfully that wasn't something that we had to worry about. Thankfully.
That was what I was going to ask. Did the Church of Scientology or anybody from there actually commented on the final verdict?
I'll tell you someone who has commented here. Someone who is a very outspoken critic of the Church of Scientology, former Scientologist herself, and all around awesome lady, actress Leah Remini. She actually wrote out a statement on Twitter regarding this whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and share the link to that tweet, but I'd also like to share the tweet with you fine folks. I'm going to go ahead and read it off. The 2 guilty verdicts in the rape trial of celebrity Scientologist Danny Masterson are a relief. The women who survived Danny Masterson's predation are heroes. For years, they and their families have faced vicious attacks and harassment from Scientology and Danny's well-funded legal team. Nevertheless, they soldiered on, determined to seek justice. While it is up to them whether they are satisfied with this verdict, I am relieved that Danny Masterson is facing some justice after over 2 decades of brutal sexual violence with no criminal consequences. To Chrissy Bixler, whose count ended in a hung jury, I know Danny raped you. I know that Scientology tried to destroy you. However, this case would not have moved forward and resulted in 2 guilty verdicts if it were not for you. I am sorry you didn't receive a guilty verdict on your charges. You deserved one. But please never forget that justice would not have been served if it were not for you. Although Scientology and its leader, David Miscavige, were not formal defendants, they played a significant role in obstructing justice in this case and other instances of sexual violence. Senior Scientology officials, civilian Scientologists, and their proxies have conspired to silence victims and intimidate witnesses for decades. This case is just the beginning of our plan to hold them accountable. I speak only for myself when I want to thank LA Deputy District Attorney Reinhold Mueller, LA Deputy District Attorney Ariel Anson, and their staff for their relentless pursuit of justice over the last 6 years. I want to thank Judge Charlene Olmedo for her professionalism and for not allowing Scientology's antics to disrupt this trial. While I am often issuing harsh statements against the LAPD, in this case, I want to thank the LAPD detectives in this case. They faced relentless harassment from Scientology and kept moving forward. Finally, to the jury, thank you for seeing the truth. Thank you for not allowing emotions to get in the way of cold, hard facts. Thank you for showing Scientologists, former and current, that justice is not only possible, but that they should come to expect it. And thank you to all of you who have supported the women who faced hell to fight for justice. Every reply, every retweet, every like, it all mattered. So yeah, I would say that
nice.
I would definitely say that's as much of a badass statement from Leah Remini as one could expect. Joseph, do you recall ages ago in the far off lands of 2009, 10, 11, that era, right? Where we'd been seeing stuff about the Church of Scientology, and Leah Remini was actually in a BBC documentary while she was still in Scientology. How she was really
I have returned.
All right, there we go, Angel. I just read off the statement from Leah Remini on her take of this entire thing, basically thanking everyone who stood up for justice and basically pointing out how, in her words, how Scientologists, both former and current, have been shown that justice is not only possible, but that they should come to expect it. So it's great that she's still leading the charge on this, considering how thoroughly ingrained and indoctrinated she was back in the day. Have I ever showed you, Angel, the documentary from BBC regarding Scientology where Leah Remini showed up?
You did, in fact. It was quite an eye-opener to how exactly that whole thing worked. It was very insidious.
Yeah, it was 2007. It was Scientology and Me by BBC Panorama. Was the BBC documentary series. Journalist and reporter John Sweeney, he went to them and he was trying to get down to the heart of the matter, and they ended up getting him completely frazzled. Unfortunately, the way that they were harassing him and ragging on him, it got under his skin. There was a big blow up. There was a giant part of it that was part of the situation. And that was part of why they felt like, yeah, we totally got this guy. We totally discredited him by making him yell at us.
And yet, ironically, it only served to prove them right. If there's one good thing that has come out of this whole thing, is how the house of cards building around Scientology over the years has slowly begun to crumble. Because they can't keep this shit forever, no matter how much they try. And eventually, it has to backfire on them. It's always going to. No empire lasts. And I feel this one has gone far beyond its expiration date.
it really should have gone away the moment Ronald Reagan came into office, but that was pretty much like their saving grace because, the guy was a nutball. There I go,
Damn.
getting political again, folks. Whatever. Lorraine
Hey,
Lamore,
that's not
up.
politics. That's
Lorraine
just reality,
and Matthew
fam.
Coburn. Sorry.
Hello.
I just noticed they came into the chat. Hey up, guys! Welcome to the Theblackfiles. It is official. Danny Masterson is guilty, and he is an official convicted rapist. And we can say that
Indeed.
freely.
It's legally allowed now.
It's legally allowed. It's not defamation if it's true. That's the rules of how the best defense to any charge of defamation is the truth, and court of law says he's guilty of being convicted of 2 counts of forcible rape.
And you know what the saddest part is, though? Well, not really sad as much as it is predictable.
Eh.
Watch the entire church cut ties with him forever.
Oh yes,
I guarantee you.
know. Yeah, no. The moment shit hits the fan, depending on who he's associated with, the organization will not want to be involved with any of that. So they'll do what they can to keep their hands clean.
Just as the original cast of the 70s shows has wisely washed their hands of his existence, the Church of Scientology will do the exact same thing. He will become persona non grata, literally as if he had never existed. Any queries of his name will be met with a blank stare and a question of, who?
Worse. It won't be nearly that benign, Angel. The moment you bring up Danny Masterson's name around anyone in the Church of Scientology, they're immediately going to be like, "No, you have to leave. You need to leave right now. This is not allowed.
Exactly.
We're not at liberty to discuss that. You are violating our religious freedom here. You're violating our religious freedom. We are going to sue you. We're taking you to court." Bullcrap.
But all I did was mention these public records showing that one of your most prevalent members happens to be a multiple-time rapist.
No, this is horrible. This is horrendous. How dare you?
No, bro, that's fake news, Angel.
No, seriously, it would be hilarious to see them trying to sue somebody over slander or one of the other words is when you speak badly of somebody.
It's slander if it's spoken. Print, it's libel.
Okay, so I'm going to do some libel, and I'm going to put it all over their buildings.
Matthew Coburn was saying, funny how the guy who played a character who talks about secret organization and conspiracies was part of a secret organization. It's almost as if he was method acting.
Secret when you think about it.
He was outing himself on it,
admittedly, it's not exactly much of an actual secret. Everybody knows that it exists. Like the fact that it's a sleazy shithole where people get turned into tools and walking piggy banks, it's more of an open secret. And the fact that the laws of this country are the only thing preventing that thing from ceasing to exist should be telling you that there is some reformations that have to be done. That admittedly, despite the fact that it went by so far, it does make me happy to know that even if it took this long, there'll be some justice because this man, and I hesitate to call him a man, has effectively ruined the remainder of his life. Remember, 30 to life. That means that at minimum, he's going to get 30. At maximum, the courts might get together, review his case and go, oh no, you're staying there for the rest of your existence. No matter what happens, the rest of his life is ruined. His family's reputation is ruined. The church he spoke of is, well, in more ruin than before. And nobody's walking out of this with his clean hands because this person has essentially taken what was half of his remaining lifespan and tossed it into a jail where a lot of people are very unhappy with him. And I know that jail is a tough place, but I know that there's people out there that not even other criminals like.
For instance, rapists.
Let's be happy that he hasn't taken advantage of children. At least that we know
At least
of.
that we know of. And let's hope that that's not something that we have to ever find out or discover, because heaven forbid, if it is the case, young Mr. Masterson might not be long for this world, if that's what's up. But let's...
Listen, I know that cops are by the majority corrupt, but there is times when I don't mind if they look the other way.
True. Like, I'm over here thinking, like, that he would not be long for this world if that's true. If that's what's really happening. Honey 2800 was saying the dude grew up in it. That's why his character was believable. Ha! I get it. Let me see here.
That's actually kind of sad because that means that he was acting from the day he stepped out into the society. Society.
Yep.
Society.
We live.
I'm told we live in one.
I mean, do we really? I don't think I want to anymore.
Hey, we've got.
We don't have a choice, Angel.
Damn. By the way, in a slightly unrelated news, I found that it's apparently a secret upgrade to Cookie Clicker.
Oh God, you in this
Guess
Cookie
what the
Clicker
upgrade
game?
is?
What's up?
Guess what the upgrade is?
What's the
upgrade?
You.
What?
Yeah, the description says you. You alone are the reason behind all these cookies. You figure if there were more of you, maybe you could make even more.
Good grief, no! Oh my
So, yeah, I
God!
just started
We
cloning
talked
myself.
about this. We haven't developed the technology yet to clone you.
Oh my
This game
God,
does.
Angel,
There
what the
is
shit?
approximately... Okay, there is 18 of me working on this right now.
Okay, you gotta chill, man. You're taking this weird little idle game a little too far. It's crazy,
It's
man.
fun. I can't help it. Oh, wait, sorry. 21 of me.
Oh God damn it, Angel.
That
Let me
being
see
said,
here.
late as it is, I am happy that for once some matter of justice has been done. It took way too damn long, but at least this piece of shit will be behind bars where he can't hurt anyone else.
Well, he's definitely going to be sentenced in August here. In the meantime, he's just going to be stuck in county jail until then. Let me see here.
Well, speaking of the piece of shit, this is probably a moot point, but has Danny Masterson himself commented on any of this?
Why
I
would
think he can.
He can't.
Legally, anything he says can and will be used against him in the court of law. And let's be honest, no one's going to believe him.
Yeah. No, at this point, it's like, nah, sorry, buddy. That's not like your word.
Yeah, I know what
mud.
you guys mean. It's just like we have to remember, folks. It's entertainment. It's the news. They'll want something.
Oh, yeah, but even if he did, his lawyers are literally saying any word that comes out of your mouth will extend your sentence by 10 more years. Keep it shut, stupid. Unlike your pants.
Like, Jesus Christ,
You're
man.
right.
No,
Keep your
I
lips
think
close, unlike your zipper, retard.
I think convicted rapists are fair game to. There's one of Scientology's favorite little words that they say they don't use anymore. Fair game.
Well, we're only playing by their rules.
We're only playing by their rules.
Fair that we do so.
No, let me take a look over here in the chat. Let me see here. Let's see. D-Nice to Honey. You think the writers that made the role for him because he's unable to act differently? He's not he's no Tom Cruise. Honey says it's like Dracula and crosses. If a Scientologist comes at you, hold up a picture of Danny Masterson. They will hiss and shield their face. No, better. Would you like to know something better that you could show them so that you could send?
What?
Very simple. A photo of this guy. The great and mighty terrible Emperor Xenu. This is the true. This is the devil of Scientology. You show him any of these photos of him, either the South Park one or the ancient little animation from BBC. You show them Xenu. If you start talking the actual text of the Xenu story, like the origin story, then they have to turn and run and go the other way, flailing and screaming.
See, the problem is that they made Xenu way too fucking cool. Like, according to them, Xenu was the extraterrestrial ruler of a galactic confederacy who brought billions of his people to Earth, then put them in a volcano and blew them up with hydrogen bombs. And I'm just sitting here going, that sounds metal as hell.
Well, it's not just that he put them in there. First, he froze them in blocks of, like, frozen glycol. Can you freeze glycol? Isn't that a form of alcohol?
If you are Galactic Emperor Xenu, apparently. Holy shit. I'm sorry. All I can think about that is just Dune.
Good God. No,
Dune
oh my God,
shit.
you're right.
When
It
was
is
the sequel?
Dune-ish. Oh,
When do
God.
we get the sequel? I enjoyed the book. I want the next movie now.
Well, the next movie's coming out soon here. Let me
Sick.
see here. Oh, for the love of crap, this guy. Oh, God almighty. I'm actually looking up the original... I'm actually trying to look up the original text of the OT3 story. It is so screwed up. It is so stupid.
I'm trying to reach the ancient texts.
Yeah, the ancient text from what, 1959, 1960 or something.
That is fairly ancient, to be sure. To be fair, like, bro, we're old.
What a hobo. This is stupid. This is so stupid.
It is. That's what makes it fun, because some things are just so ridiculous that I cannot help but to laugh at them. It's the kind of... it reminds me of that picture of a bunch of, like, well, let's just say unkempt fellows holding a sign that says, "We demand to be taken seriously." And I can't. I can't. I can only laugh at their misfortune because they deserve every ounce of it. You know?
Better, Angel. I've got it better for you. The dumb prince and his stupid wife on their worldwide privacy tour. We ain't about no privacy. We ain't want privacy, guy.
Worldwide privacy. Have you seen that many oxymorons in one go?
I have.
It's been a while.
Respect our privacy. Where?
God almighty.
Once again, thank you, South Park. Nailing it right on the head, even when you don't mean to. Very impressive.
Now, the actual stupidity of the dogma of Scientology, with them using the Xenu story, which is part of their mythology for reaching the level of operating Thetan 3. So OT3 is their thing. This is, I kid you not, they believe that if you're introduced to that too early, if you're introduced to the Xenu story without being properly prepared, it would lead to pneumonia and insomnia and death.
What?
Yeah.
Pneumonia, insomnia, and death.
And even death is what they would say.
And even death. Jeez.
Neo, you have to understand, most people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inured and so hopelessly dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it.
Are you paying attention to me, Neo? Or are you looking at the woman in the red dress?
The Scientologist nun.
In the red dress.
Oh, God.
I love the fact that the little guy went, "Oh, yeah, no, I designed the hot chick in the red dress. Hey, you want to try out all the weird porn shit I can make?"
God, dude.
Like, oh, yeah. I mean, it makes perfect sense. If you can create perfect virtual reality and one of them is basically a teenager, you know he got up to some dirty shit with that thing. Listen, it's perfectly natural, and it's better than trying to do it in the real world where... Can you imagine having sex with a woman and she turns into an agent mid-nut?
That'd be terrifying.
Man, listen, guys, all I'm saying is that to deny our impulses is to deny the very thing that makes us human.
True, but to lose control of our impulses is to cease to be human and become as a beast, like this man did.
Good. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's actually what happens. Be careful. No, actually, no, that doesn't apply. Sorry. No, I was about to quote Nietzsche. No, my bad. Anthony Raffer is in the chat. Hey there, up there,
Hello,
Anthony Rafter. Wow. I thought I was bad. He's saying over here, so I guess Bijou Phillips is available now. Dang, the body ain't even cold, son. Whoa!
I mean, hear him out, though. Let him cook.
Ouch, that is evil. Continue. No. Matthew Cohen said that he first saw Danny Masterson in a Clearasil commercial before that 70s show. Oh my God, he was pimply? Ew.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And Honey was saying, oh, hey, wait, how about showing them a photo of Xenu with Danny Masterson's face photoshopped on it?
I'm going to find that picture now. You can't stop me. It's going to happen. I know how to Photoshop crude pictures. I'm going to do this. I'm going to frame it and I'm going to put it on my front door. And then I'm going to put it on their front door. And then I'm going to sneak into their houses and break into their walls and make them feel unsafe and put it on their bed.
Put it hovering over their bed on their ceiling.
The sword of Xenocles.
What Angel's trying to say is no one is safe.
Well, I mean, it's Scientology. The moment you walk into that place, you're unsafe.
It's true. Right. Never walk into a Scientology building alone. Ever.
Damn,
I'm not even
say
kidding.
what you will about the Catholic Church, but when you want to go home, they let you leave.
It really is kind of freaky. Let me take a look over here. Oh my god, I think I actually found the original writing. Hold on.
Holy shit.
Someone has it over here. Let me take a look. Oh crap. No. Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, no, I'm finding this from an old ass Carnegie Mellon the university scholarship page. Holy shit!
The
this
literal ancient texts.
No, would you like to see how old this is?
How old?
Would you like to see the HTML is barely HTML2.
Jesus Christ!
Okay, Bunda's actually clocking out early for the night. Good night, Bunda. We'll see you tomorrow for Wrestle Rewind.
Thank you for joining us for this horrible event. See you next time, bruh.
Right. Honey was saying, Xenu in the basement with the other kids from that 70s show in a smoke session around the table. That'd be
in
freaking
retrospect,
hilarious.
he takes a hit and goes, in retrospect, putting all my people in those volcanoes may have not been the smartest idea. But they told me it would be a good investment. I guess I was wrong.
Like, listen, it's an investment if you keep them alive, you dope. It's not an investment if you kill them, take their souls, vacuum them up, and suck them into high-def movie theaters and brainwash them. Like, I actually put the official link of this page in the chat. This is the actual handwritten notes. Take a look at this. This is how HTML1 this is. Oh my lord. Angel, I don't know if you can see this, but this is ancient as hell.
Holy crap, that's amazing.
1997.
North Korea is using this.
Damn.
That's the wave of the future
incredible.
for North Korea. Let me see
That
here.
is genuinely incredible.
This is
In the worst way possible.
This was the original handwritten note version of it. I'm guessing this is handwritten by L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah, no, see, this page is dedicated to the analysis and criticism of what Scientologists must consider to be the most significant document in the history of the human race. L. Ron Hubbard's
history
OT3.
of the human race.
Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard's OT3. See legal notes below. The first page of this historic work, jotted down in Hubbard's own hand, is presented herewith. And someone actually took that chicken scratch and wrote and typed it out. The head of the Galactic Federation, 76 planets around larger stars visible from here, founded 95 billion years ago, very space opera, solved overpopulation, 250 billion or so per planet, 178 billion on average, by mass implanting. He caused people to be brought to Tijiak, Earth, and put an H-bomb on the principal volcanoes, which is Incident 2. And then the Pacific area ones were taken in boxes to Hawaii, and the Atlantic area ones to Las Palmas, and they're packaged. His name was Xenu. He used renegades. Various misleading data by means of circuits, etc., was placed in the implants. When through with his crime, loyal officers to the people captured him after 6 years of battle and put him in an electronic mountain trap where he still is. They are gone.
Wait,
the place.
So they fought him for 6 years and they only managed to trap him?
Apparently, they trapped him in some impenetrable mountain electronic trap with an eternal battery somewhere on Earth, and he is still there to this very day from 95 billion years ago.
This feels like a very twisted version of the legend of Sun Wukong, the Monkey King.
No. The legend of Sun Wukong is actually entertaining and a little bit enlightening to the culture. This freaking chicken scratch bullcrap was pulled out of somebody's bulbous Adderall-riddled ass. And that ass was L. Ron Hubbard's.
This is incredible. This is genuinely incredible. This is the greatest thing I ever read. All they're making is Xenu look badass. Like, all this power your religion so-called has, and you couldn't even defeat Satan. You fought him for 6 years, and the best you could do is hold him. Hey, remember when Jesus died, and he spent 3 years going doom guy out of hell?
It was 3 days.
Oh, sorry. 3 days. It took him 3 days to fight his way out of hell, just to come back and go, yo, love each other. Peace is good. Later. Like, damn, bro.
Like, no,
Imagine being
gotta
so
remember,
shit here that your Satan is the most badass character of your whole religion.
isn't that kind of depressing? It's
That
kind of
is
sad.
amazing. That is
Very
the best.
depressing. Ugh.
Oh,
Many a religion has many tales and legends about overcoming great evil or temptation. Scientology might be the only religion where the only purpose seems to be, overcoming temptation makes you look like a loser.
no. So you have to understand here, Angel. If the eternal emperor, evil galactic warlord Xenu is still alive, that means that his evil machinations can return. But the only way to save ourselves is to throw money at a pack of assholes who make you hold a pair of tin cans and have them lie detect at you and force you into mind controlling yourself into them signing your power of attorney away to them and making them sign your entire bloodline away to them for more money. Because if not, then Xenu wins. Because he may return.
Something tells me that man's been winning since the moment they put him in that mountain. Probably made himself like a vacation home there.
I wish. At least, well, for here, oh God, Honey 2800 was saying, Bish, I want to find the dude now just out of spite. Wouldn't that be hysterical?
We're going to find Xenu and we'll be like, yeah, we found like Scientology Satan inside this mountain. He's a pretty chill guy.
What's up, Joe?
I actually want to ask you a question. Now, we've talked already in great detail of how much we really do not like Danny Masterson because he is an absolute piece of shit, right?
He is an official convicted rapist, yes.
Yep.
Yes. What about his brother, Christopher Kennedy Masterson?
What about him? I haven't heard
Is he
anything.
just as bad?
About him?
Is he just as bad?
I will only say this. He hasn't been charged by for anything yet.
It is possible that the brother is literally just a guy and has no relation to his siblings' crimes. At least I like to hope so. I like to hope this family tree doesn't get any more fucked up than it already is. And Lord knows that after this, every member of the family with common sense will cut ties with that sect as soon as they can. Because damn, look at that shit that you produce from it.
For those who don't know, Christopher Kennedy Masterson, he like the last big thing that he's done is like he is an on-screen character of the oldest brother in Malcolm in the Middle.
Huh.
Yeah, that was him. He was the oldest brother, the one who was off in military school. He got married to like a what was it like a Hawaiian chick, a Vietnamese chick, or something like that.
I think Vietnamese.
Yeah, all right. Well, like he got married and stuff, all to piss off his mom, who was what's her name? She was just batshit and one of the best actors of all time. Jane Kasmerick. Yeah, I
gotta give her props. She was very good at that.
Yeah, she was. She really was. Jesus Christ, 67? Good Lord, that lady. Anyhow, no, I'm seeing over here, there is not a whiff of controversy or anything out of Christopher Masterson at all. All it's saying over here is that, what do you call it? That him and Danny Masterson used to invest in restaurants together. He was in a relationship with Laura Prepon, Donna from that 70s show, until 2007. So from 1999 to 2007, he was actually dating Laura Prepon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, and in
the reason I brought all this up, Juancho, is that let's say for the sake of continuity, they for the 90s show for Netflix.
Everybody shut the hell up. I have amazing news.
What's up?
Does this have
My
to do
little
with what we're
brother's
talking about?
painting reached the first page on Newgrounds.
His what? His painting?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Congratulations, Toy Slasher.
Awesome.
Nice.
My boys got talent. But I digress. Going back to it. I doubt
as I was
that they
trying
were
to say, I haven't finished saying what I was going to say until you interrupted, Angel.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. So let's say for the sake of continuity, the folks who are working on that 90s show, because, season 2 is in the works right now for Netflix.
That's right.
Like, if they brought back the character Hyde, imagine how crazy it would be if they brought in Danny's brother to play the now older Hyde character for the 90s.
Nah.
What if it was just like, no, the original Hyde died. I am, in fact, his long-lost brother.
Nah, it's okay. Now,
My man just literally goes right ahead with everything exactly as it was before. No changes. It's just, you know what? They just act exactly the same. He plays the exact same character. It's just his brother. It's like Chris Hemsworth being replaced by Liam Hemsworth. But no one says anything.
Well,
right?
If it works out, it works out. But I doubt that they'll actually even try to go that route. They pretty much wrote the entire character of Hyde completely out. He's just wandering the earth somewhere. Who knows? Who cares?
He's dead.
None of them mention him. None of them mention him. None of them care. It has no bearing on the story.
Which really sucks. I mean, I get it because the real life actor is a piece of shit rapist. But fuck, man, he was an integral part of the story.
He was.
Yeah.
And now he's
not. Then again, maybe you can use that as one of the things they teach in the story. That 70 shows was mostly a comedy, but it has some like heavy lessons to teach. And one of them might be that, hey, man, sometimes your friends just lose touch. They go their own way and you might never see them again. So all you can do is cherish the memories of the great times you had with them and move on forward with your life while they rot in jail forever for being giant pieces of shit.
See, there you go. Angel gets it.
It's going to be a very special episode of that 70s
Jesus
show.
Christ, special episode. I'm double checking on the chat over here. Matthew Coburn was saying, Friday night movie trivia. Charlie first talks to Peter Vincent outside Peter's show studios about vampires. The film location is now a Scientology building. Boo. God dang it.
Damn.
Let me see here. Jen Pearson was asking, what kind of horse crap was this guy smoking? L. Ron Hubbard was a known drug abuser, and he liked the peyotes a lot.
He smoked a whole cactus.
That's why
Not even a peyote. He just found a whole cactus.
That's why L. Ron Hubbard died running away from the law on a boat.
And the law won.
No, they never caught him, but he was running away from the law on a boat. And then he died.
Yeah, but he died. But to the law, that's basically a victory.
I suppose so. True. I suppose you're not wrong about that. D-Nice, hashtag interrupting chat. God dang it. Aaron Cooper, he was drinking his own Kool-Aid. LOL, have them lie detect at you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, it was an Inuit chick. Yeah. That Francis, Christopher Masterson's character married. Okay, so yeah, she was Inuit Alaskan chick. All right.
That explains that. However, it is already 11:30-ish, which means that it's time for me to turn in because work awaits and it will have no mercy upon me were I to be late.
You're not wrong, Angel. Work has been a pain in the butt for all of us around here. But thankfully, one of the things that we are allowed to do is to play, and Los Amigos will play this coming Saturday. What can we expect on your frenetic video game Let's Play action show, Angel?
Well, first off, fun. At 5 p.m. every Saturday Eastern Standard Time, we will now resume. That's right, Star Wars month ends today. No more Star Wars, ever. We remove the copyright. It's now public IP. But we will continue with something slightly more terrifying. It is time to resume the journey of the most unfortunate Latino man in all of Raccoon City, Carlos, as he endures the hell of being second fiddle to Jill Valentine in Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil remake.
Which is why I've actually got high hopes for the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, because if they were able to remake Resident Evil 3 this well, if the Resident Evil remakes that they've been coming out with have been coming out and basically knocking them out the park, I'm hoping that the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake comes out to equal high quality.
No, yeah, it makes sense. Don't mind you. This is on one hand Capcom, who is a publisher that has been banging out non-stop fire hits for the last few years, ever since their success. While on the other hand, we have Konami. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's just say my hopes are high, but my expectations are very low.
You make a good point. If it ain't pachinko, they don't put their blue chip rollers on it. So I know exactly. What you mean.
But we'll see how that works. In the meantime, though, I'll be seeing you folks a bit later.
Whoa, what's that?
I thank you kindly, because I gotta go now.
All right. I guess we'll see it. We'll see you Saturday, Angel.
You will.
Yeah, man. Have a good night, and we will see you Saturday.
Yes, you will. I'll see you guys later, and thank you all for taking the time to listen to my rambling. See you around now.
Thank you
I'm
for
gonna
rambling
go
at
print
us,
some
man.
pictures.
Have a good night, man.
Yes.
There was Angel. There was Angel Mendez over here helping us wrap up on this. Yeah, no. The founder of Scientology was a coked out. He was the original coked out dweeb. He was fabricating a bunch of shit about his life. He was saying like he was like a world famous explorer and a world famous scientist of metallurgy and chemistry and pharmacology, which is why psychiatry is the work of the devil and it is Nazi work, and you should use my tech instead.
Right.
Such a dipshit. And I can't believe he's the guy that people put their hopes and dreams on. Let me take a look here in the chat. Folks were saying, Planet Q's Queen, sorry not sorry, never watched that 70s show ever, but know who the actors are, lol. D Nice was asking, Angel, has anyone ever told you have the voice for ASMR so calming? He has been told that so many times, it's not even funny. Let me see here. Gene Rick was saying to Honey 2800, my apologies, we have to keep the comments clean. With which bit over here was she referring to? I'm not sure. Let me see.
I don't know, but I want to get back to an earlier subject, Juancho. Like, okay, I get the argument, I get what you're saying, but like, I don't know. From a storytelling standpoint, it just feels wrong to redact a part of the part of the story.
Angel already spelled it out, and that was actually one of the best ways that people can spell out how to write off Danny Masterson completely, how to write off Hyde's character completely. It's sometimes you have friends who are with you during some of the most important formative years in your life, and sometimes they just fade away. Sometimes you just lose touch with them. How many friends have we lost along the way just from lack of contact that we were like this with? That we were like, oh, we're never going to lose each other. We're the best friends forever.
Far too many than I want to admit right now.
Yeah, I know. The same here. It's hurtful, but at the same time, it's you understand. It's not okay. We're doing this just because screw you, Danny Masterson. But also, hey, Hyde's character really doesn't have that much bearing on the story we're trying to tell. They're trying to tell the story of like the next generation of the Foreman basement kids.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I'll give you that.
So it's really more a matter of them taking front and center of all this. So it's not really about Foreman and Hyde and Donna and all of them. It's about the next generation. That's who really matters.
Right. Yeah.
So like, try not to stress too much about them. I know it feels weird, but at the same time, don't let yourself get too hung up on them. They're not worried about us. They're clear, and it's clear that Danny Masterson has bigger fish to fry now, like learning now how to not drop the soap. Let me see here. So. D Nice was saying you're the three best friends that anyone can have. Thank you. We like to think so. That's why we're brothers.
We appreciate that.
Literally and figuratively. Literally between me and Jose, figuratively between us and Angel, but we're pretty much brothers. Angel's our brother. We don't give a damn. I love him to death, and he's not a motherfucker that I'm going to let out of our lives at all. We're stuck with him, according to him. Like, we adopted him out of a freaking, what was it that he would keep saying? A DMV or immigration office or whatever?
We found him in a FedEx box.
And we gave him food, and he never left us since. Matthew Coburn was saying, on the 2nd, I'm getting Return of the Jedi 40th edition 40th anniversary poster from Disney Movie Insiders. It cost me 400 points and has a mirror image on the back. That is so cool. That is so freaking cool. Congratulations, Matthew Coburn. I have no thing when I'm not in the Disney Insiders thing at all, but I pretty much ought to be. Jose, take a look what D Nice wrote. Are you able to see the chat?
Let me pull it up on my YouTube and I'll let you know. Give me a minute.
Uh-huh.
Give me a minute. Don't say a fucking thing.
I won't. I want to wait for you to say it, and I want to know if you're gonna sing it here.
Here we go.
Sing it.
We're
Your brothers.
we're brothers.
We're happy and we're singing and we're calling. Give me a high five.
Oh my!
We're old. We're showing our age
nice.
with Wayne's brothers.
That is so old. Jeez. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. So, okay, silliness aside, I guess there's really not much else to say. I mean, Hyde is finally the legal system has finally dropped the hammer onto Danny Masterson, and he's looking to do 30 years, man. I mean, which if you ask me, that's still very nice for him. So.
That's if they put him down for just the minimum sentence of 30 years. They could simply pop him in for life. Matthew Coburn was saying, yeah, the Wayne's brothers on UPN, and D Nice was saying, mission accomplished. Haha, good night. Thank you for that, D Nice. Thank you for taking us back to the 90s. That was horrendous how we still remember that, but we appreciate it.
Now I need to look up the Wayne's brothers and see if I can watch it on Hulu.
Now, that begs the question. Because you've got Sean, Marlon, and Damian Wayans. Which one of us are we? Which of the three are we?
I like to think I'm the Marlon Wayans. I don't know.
Yeah, but then Damian Wayans, he's the bald one.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Bald. So, Angel would be closer to Marlon Wayans. I guess I'm Sean.
Yeah, someone needs to be the straight-laced one.
I guess. And considering that all three of them are like goofballs and comedy geniuses in their own right, calling Sean Wayne's the straight man in the team, that's like the nicest guy in the loony bin. So I guess you're right. Yeah, and Jen Pearson, glad he's being held accountable. So am I. Very few times do monsters like Danny Masterson get held to account, get held to the mark, have any sort of consequence held to them. And come August, we'll determine whether or not he's actually going to be, like, for how long he'll be imprisoned. You know, it could be 30 years, it could be life.
Yeah, no, August seems to be like a good time for us to do a follow-up episode on that story. That being said, because of all this happened, yeah, no, he pretty much screwed himself over. If there was any plans for him to return to the entertainment world, even at his age right now, like whatever plans he might have had completely went up in smoke by his own doing.
Just out of it, completely wrecked. And he's got nobody to blame but himself. He really doesn't. Like, truthfully, like, because I was over here initially thinking, if you remember 2 weeks ago, I was thinking that he was freaking doing this stuff while he was married to Bijou Phillips. Like, dude, you've got a smoking hot wife. What the hell is this all about? No, it was before them, but okay, congratulations. You're not a gigantic philandering asshole. You're still just a rapist asshole. So, nice going.
Yeah. You know, actually, that brings up a very good point. Probably a shot in the dark, but do we know if there were any like future entertainment plans that he's involved in before this fiasco?
None that we saw. The only thing that we were able to pin down was that they were finishing that ranch TV series that he was on. Right up to the end of that, and that's where the entire situation started devolving from there. Let me see here.
Oof.
2016.
Oof.
Urge was a little movie that he was in. Yeah, it was like a action thriller like suspense thriller. That was a movie he was supposed to that he was in 2016 that I don't see anybody watched. And he was in an episode of an anthology series called Easy, which is a comedy drama. And that was it. And in 2016, he was on Monday Night Raw on October 3rd alongside Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, well.
But that's it.
Cool, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
October 3rd, 2016. I'm trying to timeline it in my head. Okay, yeah, now I remember. Yeah, late 2016 is during the time where AJ Styles was WWE champion.
Fun facts you didn't know.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I can't help it. I gotta. Bleh.
You have to frame everything on. You have to frame everything around pro wrestling, otherwise you can't function. I know it's your thing.
Hey, give me credit, Juancho. I didn't frame anything until just now.
I know. I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm pointing it out as a statement. And it's because like you put pen down, like, okay, AJ Styles is WWE champion on this day. This, like, it's not a knock. I'm the one who brought up what the hell he was doing. So everything that he was doing just screeching halt after 2017. That was it.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. Well, shoot. I mean, still, he really brought this on himself, and this is pretty much going to alienate him from anybody that he's close to. Like, shit, man, if I were his friends, family, or anyone who works with him on a business level, like, I would want to keep I agree with Angel on his earlier point about the Church of Scientology wanted to keep their hands clean. I think this would go on a larger scale. I think anyone associated with Danny Masterson would want to keep their hands clean.
Yeah, but that also means what? His wife, his family, the people he was building a life with. So yeah, he's got a child.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh man, dude, that makes it worse. No, they can't wipe their hands clean from this because that shit's gonna because people are gonna throw that shit in their faces for the rest of their lives.
It's a literal kid. The baby was the little girl was born in 2014. She's not even 10 years old. But yeah, no, that's something that she's gonna have as like a stigma over her own head. Like, hey, guess what? Your daddy's in jail. Haha, he was like. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And at this age, like 9, 10 years old, that kind of situation will traumatize a kid. But don't worry.
Don't remind me.
Something can be done about it. First off, little girl, tell us about your crimes. Tell us about your crimes. Tell us about your crimes.
Are we doing this? Are we peddling this old joke again, Juan?
Tell us about your crimes. Tell us about your crimes. It's not a joke. It's how Scientology actually tries to extract info out of people. I wish I was joking. I am not that funny. Excuse me. Thank you. Oh my God. Some of my body thetans are trying to leave. Oh goodness.
But yeah, no, Juan's right. The kid's going to have it the worst, man. Imagine being like 9 to 10 years old, knowing that your dad is in prison for a very long time. Something that
somebody misses
something
me.
That unfortunately me and Juan have had experience with. Not to get too detailed of our childhood, but this is something that we can relate to.
It fucked us up bad.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame. Oh my God. Let me take a look over here in the YouTube chat. Cannibal, D Nice, Planet Q's Queen, Night's still young, but yeah, I'm calling it 8:37 p.m. To a mid 30-year-old, to be a mid 30-year-old. I know, right? It's only it's like 11:43 for me right now. D Nice, if you're bouncing out, I was gonna say go ahead and have yourself a good night.
D Nice. Thank you for that throwback, by the way, to the Wayans brothers. I really do appreciate that.
Thank you. You're right, Jose. She also went ahead and said, "Oh hell yeah, the West Coast in the house." And Planet Q's Queen saying, "I'm 40 and I live on the West Coast too. D Nice, gonna be headed bed early tonight." Yeah, so it's like what, almost it's 9:15 in the West Coast, and D Nice was saying, "Bro, get out of my soul." Whoa, was that from the sneezing? Or what was that? I'm not sure what that is.
Are you telling me to get out of your soul?
No, like D Nice is saying telling somebody to get out of her soul. I don't know. Lisa Boo is saying good night as well. Man. Thank you very much for joining us, Lisa Boo. We appreciate it very much. Thank you for being a part of the chat tonight. Aaron Cooper was saying that the ranch was a funny show. I mean, it had to be. You know, these guys are great comedic actors. They had the ultimate straight man in Sam Elliott to play against.
I love Sam Elliott. He's awesome.
I don't even smoke Marlboros. I smoke
Cools. He's great. He knocks it out of the ballpark, and even in the silliest of roles. I don't care what anybody says. I like him.
Yeah, no, Sam Elliott's fine. I don't see anybody having an issue with him. I mean, like, he's an actual cowboy hero actor.
Yeah.
That
being said, yeah. Oh, okay. Raptor noises just came out of my mouth right now, laughing. Ha! Thanks, Wancho. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, that being said, it is quarter till midnight. I do need to go to bed myself. I have been nursing a bad headache all day, and I do need to take pain medicine before I go to sleep. And I need as much sleep as I can get.
I'm gonna find you some pain meds, like actual proper headache medicine, and I'm gonna bring it to you over here once we're done with the show over here, Jose.
I have the thing. I have Tylenol and ibuprofen.
No, I mean like actual headache medicine. You know, like Aleve.
Oh,
yeah. I know you don't have that.
I guess I'll work with that. No worries.
Go figure. I was over here sneezing up a storm earlier, and I get a notification from the little weather app. It says pollen tomorrow. Like, it's a little early, don't you think? But tell us, Jose, what do we have to look forward to on tomorrow night's episode of Wrestle Rewind?
Well, first of all, I do want to give my final thoughts before we wrap this up.
Give
first,
your final thoughts.
Number one, thank you for this recommendation, D-Nice. The ginger ale works wonders. I love ginger ale. I love drinking it. I'm definitely going to get some. Number one. Number two, the wheels of justice turn ever slowly, so slow that a tortoise could beat it in a race. But I am very glad that things are finally moving forward. Danny Masterson is being held accountable for his actions. I mean, it sucks from a long-term standpoint for his family, for his child and everything. It sucks for them because they're going to have to bear that albatross for the rest of their lives. But you know, this should serve as a cautionary tale for any young celebrity out there, for any young celebrity who would think for 1 second, if they start thinking that they're hot shit, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Don't let your influence and stuff get to your head. Always remember where you came from, because for crying out loud, that's what you. It's like, never ever think that you're above the law. Do not freaking go out and cause harm to people just to get your way. If a chick says no, it means no. Get off of her. Don't try to coerce anyone. It's not that hard. All right, the Boondock Saints taught us. These are principles which every man of every faith can embrace.
Exactly. Now, what to expect for tomorrow night's edition of Wrestle Rewind? Well, tomorrow night we're going to have a special edition, another installment of Main Event Thursday. Because over the past weekend, we've had not one, not two, not three, but four wrestling pay-per-view events happening during the entire weekend. There are 4 main event matches for each pay-per-view, and we're going to discuss it tomorrow night. It's going to be quite interesting, quite a mixed bag. And me and Juan, we're going to go through this mixed bag with all of you.
And if I'm not mistaken, we're giving the main events of Impact Wrestling's Under Siege, NXT Battleground, AEW's Double or Nothing, and of course, if you watched along with us, the WWE Night of Champions. So be sure to tune in.
Yes. So if there's any wrestling fans on the live chat right now, and if you want to hear me talk all things wrestling, tune into my show, Wrestle Rewind, every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube and Twitch. So until then, Juan, thank you very much for having me on the show. It has been a pleasure as always. Folks, thank you very much for tuning in right now. Please remember to be responsible with where you get your news from, and remember at the end of the day that we're all human beings.
Thank you very much for that, Jose. I appreciate it very much. I hope you have yourself a good night. I'll get you that headache medicine once I'm off the air, okay?
Thank you very, very much. Have a good night, folks.
Good night, man. All right, and that was Jose Casabona, folks, the founder of the Ravens Flock, the big bald bastard himself. I'm going to go ahead and start giving my final thoughts, and it's going to take me half a minute or so to get it all straightened out. Let me take a look over here. Planet Q's Queen 2016 was when we opened the Golden One Center here in Sacktown. Was that a Scientology center? That sounds like something out of Scientology, like the Golden Bridge to the Freedom or something like that. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I was actually neck deep in Scientology mythos in order to be able to understand the enemy, if you would, to understand their thoughts and how they behaved and how they coerce people's minds and shit. Honey 2800 is saying, rest well, everyone. If you're packing it in, honey, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a good night also. Thank you for that. Truthfully, at this point, there's very little else that can be said except Danny Masterson fucked around and he found out. And now he has to pay for it. There's no getting around this stuff. Just don't coerce people into sexual activity with them if they don't want it. And especially, don't try to say, oh, I could do whatever I want because of my religion. No, bullshit. There's only so much that religious freedom will protect you from in a court of law. Violating and infringing on the personhood, the agency of another human being, is a hard line. I remember talking to a friend of mine a few years ago when he was basically talking about, okay, that's what Planet Q is, Queen. No, that is the arena that I work for, but we have a Scientology building near the arena, but I ignore them. The Sack Kings own the arena. Okay, thank you, Jesus. My brain did not... I need sleep. What is sleep? I don't know. I haven't don't know her, never met her. But the thing that my friend was trying to teach me was like, look, people will try to drum up any sort of mishap and try to pump it up to the worst degree. Let me just explain it to you this way. I want you to poke me in the chest. Okay? Now but I want you to do so under the assumption that you haven't poked, that I didn't want you to poke me in the chest. So I'm poking you in the chest without your permission. That's right. Okay. Poke. You now committed assault. That is assault. That can actually be, that can be actionable. That can be freaking, that can be, what's, part of the, that could be what's part of the, of a charge against you. Let me see over here. I'm wrapping up the show. There we go. Oh no, Xenu's attacking my cable. We need to get a new cable. But truthfully, thank you for that, D-Nice. I assaulted the like button. Am I charged? Yes, you are charged. You are charged with poking. Aggravated a poke of the highest order. No. But like, don't. It's simple enough. We can look at this objectively from the outside, and we could say, like, why the hell would anyone feel the compunction, feel the need, feel the entitlement to infringe on another human being like this? And, like, the simple friggin' answer would be because I can. And I can get away with it. Because I'm XYZ fulano de mierda, whatever the hell their name is. And I can do whatever I want. No. Sorry, buddy. You can't just do whatever you want. Your freedoms end where mine begin. It's as simple as that. The moment you infringe on someone else's personhood, the moment you infringe on their basic humanity, is when you lost any form of moral high ground. I don't give a damn how many body thetans you've exterminated or purged from your system or cleared from your system. Nuh-uh. It's not. That's not how it works. It's never how it's going to work. It has never been how it worked. And that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to tell you, fine folks, except thank you all so much for being with us here. And we know that it's not very savory stories that we talk about on the Blackfiles. Sometimes we are able to talk about fun stuff. There are times we, for the majority of the show on the Blackfiles, we usually delve into the dark underbelly of nerd and geek culture. But that's part of the job, because if we don't drag this stuff out of the light, out into the light, then it'll never get resolved. You cannot ignore a problem away. You just can't. It has to be dealt with head on, and it has to be dealt with just how it works over here. What was the final sentence of last week, Juancho? Funny you should mention that, Planet Q's Queen. When we were on last week, when we were talking about how Ron DeSantis announced his candidacy for president, our internet power went out. Our internet service went out right as we were starting to wrap up, and we couldn't get back on for the rest of the night. So I put up a quick YouTube short letting people know, hey, I guess that's that for the show. Thank you all for watching, and we'll check you next week. But truthfully, as far as Ron DeSantis goes, his demagoguery cannot be permitted to go national. There are already a bunch of psychopaths who are trying to run his flavor. The only difference is he's actually sufficiently intelligent to make it work to his advantage. And he cannot be allowed to continue. With that being said, I hope, for the love of God, that he doesn't go into office. He's a giant joke. He's a giant ass clown. And he is as much of a torturer as the people that he was a JAG officer representative to at Guantanamo Bay. Because he was there pointing, laughing, having a jolly good time while a man was being force-fed, like, Ensure nutrient shakes through his nose. Like, through a feeding tube, through his nose, up the nasal canal, down the throat. Basically choking on it. And that's the kind of shit that got Ron DeSantis off. That's the kind of shit that got Ron DeSantis, gave him his jollies, gave him his giggles, because for him, basic humanity is a suggestion. How else do you explain how he's been aggressively attacking anybody who's transgendered, anybody who's in the LGBTQ community, anybody who's a person who immigrated to the United States? He doesn't care. For him, though, everyone who's not a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant is a lower life form, and he is hell-bent and determined to make America just like how he's trying to force Florida into being, but we're not going to let that happen. As God is my witness, I'm going to do everything in my power to help spread the word and not allow a psychopath like Ron DeSantis come to any higher office. By spreading the word, by showing everyone the kind of man he is. And there are plenty of folks who are way better qualified than I am, but I want to do my part, because he's a goddamn monster. Ron DeSantis is a monster. Danny Masterson is a monster. They both commit power plays. The only difference is Danny Masterson is facing consequences for his actions. Ron DeSantis still needs to as well. If it were up to me, if I was in any sort of actionable political status, I would call for a military tribunal for Ron DeSantis during his time in Guantanamo Bay, and actually debrief him properly and try to bring up, okay, so you're over here trying to observe human right violations. This form of being force-fed is a human rights violation, and not only did you not freaking try to stop it or try to do anything about it, you were laughing, pointing along, probably partaking in it too, because he is a little-brained man who gets his kicks by tormenting other people. By torturing other people. He's torturing the state of Florida, and he's having his little laugh effect every single time. Have you noticed when he signs these horrible draconian laws in like bills into law, he has a big photo op and he's got this gigantic freaking laugh, like someone had told him the funniest butt joke of all time to a third grader, and he's just yay, basic human rights are being written away and I get to do it. like a little freak. That's what Ron DeSantis is. And yeah, mother of God, Danny Masterson, he's a monster, and he's finally facing his comeuppance, and I'm glad for that. Come August 4th, though, anything can happen between now and then. He has a whole summer for his legal team to try to grease the wheels however they can, but it better not happen. It really better not happen here. And if there is any sort of situation with it, you can bet that over here at the Ravens Flock we'll be following up on it. Planet Q's Queen is saying vote Jesse Ventura and Stone Cold Steve Austin for president and VP. That'd be hilarious. And D Nice is saying you're welcome. I had fun. Hoping y'all did too. It's a rough topic, but good conversation. That's what we're here for. We have to look at the truth and its ugly lights for its in its own ugly and sad light. And we have to drag it out and hold it into account. And if we can do better, we need to make every effort. And we're hoping that you find folks who join us for that as well. And we appreciate everyone who joined us as we wrap up tonight's episode of the uncensored, uncompromising interview and review podcast of the Ravens Flock, The Blackfiles, hosted by yours truly, Juan Arouse, as we cut into the darker side of nerd and pop geek culture and cut to the heart of the matter, seeking the truth and discussing these harsh topics as well. Be sure to request access as we go live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch. Hit the subscribe or the follow button. Ring the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our content. Become an inner flocker by hitting the join button. And by the way, we do have a Cash App, folks. We also have a Stream Elements tip jar over here, folks. While we appreciate their inner flockers who have joined, we do need your help in order to help start saving up for our big Japan trip in 2025. So if you're able to, be sure to tip there. Until next time, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/The Ravens Flock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/The Ravens Flock Online, Twitch.tv/The Ravens Flock Online, and of course, remember to hit the subscribe button and ring that little notification bell right here on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/The Ravens Flock, humble home of the Blackfiles, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and the Ravens Flock. For Jose Cansabona and Angel Mendez, I am Juan Arouse. This has been the Blackfiles, and we are